Hi everyone. Do you guys hear me? Because I have no return of my sound. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. Thank you for joining me here today. Thank you, Celestial viewers, for being in here with me. Thanks for the return, that helps a lot. Um, Today, I chose to talk about something that can be really helpful for every one of us, including myself, as usual, of course, right? Sometimes things they come to our way and they make us so scared or amazed, sometimes breathtaking, that we don't get to focus on our things. Our minds, it just goes completely away from the present in order to try to advance anything that you must prepare for something that is going to happen. And I wish I could have visual aids for this topic because this could be really helpful. But the thing is, every time we enter in the state of angst, worriness, or complaining or anxiety, our energetical bodies, they get so kind of cranky and they go all like agitated. And when you worry and when you get angst, you are constricted. You are like holding all the your inner forces like back into you, and they are really growing small, getting smaller, and they are compressed, and you keep feeling that sense of pressure. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I chose a very specific image for that subject because it's like this. Well, challenges, they will be in life, in any kind of life, in any kind of situation, there will be challenges. And challenges are part of our growth in here. Challenges are what is in our way to make us get trained to how get strong in awkward situations. So they are a necessary thing to happen. You cannot escape from that. Even if you win a challenge, it will come another one. And now I'm calling us to choose how we want to face them. I'm sorry about the cat sound if it's bothering you, okay? There are cats around me. So the thing is, every time we go into that state, our spiritual powers, they get smaller. They shorten. Our power isn't shortened because we are holding our energy back on us. And it's actually even worse because when you worry, you go through this state, and complaint is even worse because you go in this state that you're not only constricting your power, but you're kind of throwing a negative force against yourself. So this image I chose today for this subject is about someone who is facing a challenge and is all wrinkling her face as in worriness and anxiety, and the other one is smiling. And this is a choice, okay? We can face this as a choice. And in this choice, it's not that we're not gonna feel challenged. It's just that if you go through something difficult, would you rather go through it with good humor or totally worried? And the thing is, self blame, okay? I really wanted to touch this subject. Self blame is pointless, okay? It's almost as crying for the spilled milk. And the self blame, it not only takes your power away from you, but it also makes you throw your force against yourself. Because when you are feeling self blame, you are kind of emotionally and mentally attacking yourself. And when you receive those words from yourself, you will more than constrict your power. You will lessen your power. You will diminish your power. And this is very cultural, right? Sometimes self blaming is very cultural. It was taught to you from childhood. And oh my God, those things from childhood, aren't they super hard to get rid of? And the thing about the self blame is it won't work the best way for you. It won't help you to bring solutions. It's totally like crying over the spilled milk. It won't help you find a solution. It won't help you look for the opportunities that will bring your solution. It won't help you feel encouraged to overcome that challenge. And why are you doing this to yourself? As much as I ask myself the same thing, you know? And the energy surrounding your energetical body while you're going through this is going to make you feel sad about yourself. But I mean, you are here, we are facing together the challenge of get evolved in the spirituality so we can grow and help to grow our powers and make it come to the surface so we can reach it to bring it out to the world in order to use the best version of us to collaborate with life, right? But self blaming is like you punishing yourself. Uh, while you try to get the point that self blaming won't help you at all, I want you to think like this every time you go through self blaming situation. First of all, I want you to think to yourself, hey, you are trying your best. I know you are. If you are here, if you are looking for your inner growth, I super know you're trying everything that comes from the best version of you to collaborate with life and society. And collaborating with life and society is about taking the best version of us, enhancing it, and spreading our good energy on whatever forms there is to do that, being a nurse or being a psychotherapist or just amusing people, whatever, you know. The best version of us just comes outside when we are encouraged and when we are feeling strong about ourselves. And that also gives us self confidence. And while you are trying to do something so perfectly that you don't get to realize how good you're trying to make this, even if it goes wrong, thank yourself because you tried your best. Oh, but Danny, not always our best versions come outside. Okay, that is life, okay? You have to worry about financial situations, you have to worry about life situations, family situations, friend situations, oh, where you gonna be on your next vacation, how are you going to pay that huge bill, whatever. You have a lot going on in your mind. Your mind is most of the time not just here. Your mind is in the next bill and what you're going to do for your kids. When are you going and how are you going to plan your next vacation? Your mind is totally spilled and spread everywhere, trying to figure out the solutions for all the situations that you want to live and that you want to experience. And in that, the best, maybe even when we don't let our best come outside, believe me, you were looking for your best. But then you, for some reason, you just got angry. And in getting angry, you just released not your best version. Okay, you know, be kind to yourself. You're human, and that is good. I know you would like to be a hero, and believe me, you are sometimes. And sometimes you're not even aware that you are being a hero, but you are. And it's not just because you got angry once or because at a specifically time you released not the best version of you for someone. That will not make you become a bad person, believe me. And allow yourself to understand that it is human to make mistakes and it's part of our learning process, right? I speak for the basics, okay? I can speak for languages. I'm learning the fifth and the sixth language right now. And that is kind of hard. You need to make some mindsets, kind of turn a key to each language that you're going to speak. But the one thing that I have learned from this process is that everything that is super hard to happen, everything that is hard to learn and to transform a knowledge, like learning a new language, it takes a lot of energy from you. And you will not, every language that we restart learning, it's like you are going back to being a humble kid that understand that knows nothing in there yet. And because you understand there you don't know it, you allow yourself to be that kid that can commit mistakes. And it's super good because, for example, when I was a kid and I was learning English, once I said to a friend, "You is good," because I was thinking about the Portuguese version of saying that sentence, and she corrected me, "Danny, it's you are." And believe me, I never ever forgot again. I it's kind of funny to think like this, but being corrected, it's such a good point in every learning processes. So it is actually good that you commit mistakes, because when you commit mistakes and you reflect with yourself to understand why you made that mistake and how could you improve the next time so it won't happen, you will go through a self process of correcting yourself. That is a lot more constructive for you than self-blaming, believe me. If I could make a visual aids for this self-blaming situation, I would put a girl completely like constricted in herself like this, and the energy here around her would be like a very gray smoke of something very held back and hold tight, that will only attract not good energy for you. And that when we are talking about spirituality, the energy that we flourish and we spread outside of us, it is what will attract other experiences for you. So maybe if you worry and you don't want to attract bad things, you think to yourself, okay, I'm worrying. Let's go to the solution. Where is the solution? Okay, Danny, where will you find the solution? And it's mostly like this, because if you get to change from the perspective of your version, super worried, completely blaming yourself for having made a mistake, and you choose that state of energy that will only attract more challenges for you, and you transform that into, okay, this is a learning process, and I will understand where the mistake was, and I will reflect to understand how I will improve this. Okay, you just got into this very better state, because now you are starting to being opened. And from the process of being completely constricted, holding all your power back inside of you, to the process of where you open and silence your thoughts to now learn from reflecting, you are opening your energy back again. You are opening your heart, you are opening your mind, you are opening your attention. And when you open, okay, you can be more relaxed, because now that you are open, and you get to understand that maybe you don't have to know all the process until the end of it, and you're just going step by step through it to learn from it, you are releasing a more relaxed energy and a learning energy. And the good thing about learning energy is, okay, now maybe you don't know this if you're in the beginning of the spiritual processes, but when you release the good energy and the relaxed energy, is when you are calling the invisible powers to come to your help. And the good thing about them, and I love you guys, even I can see you with my eyes, I can see you with the eyes of my heart, is that they will come here to you and they will start giving you ideas, and they will bring you inspirations, and those inspirations that they will bring to you, it will sound for yourself like a thought in the first person, as in I instead of you, because they will come close to you and they will start thinking in the first person. Is that correct to say that I is the first person in English as it is in Portuguese? I'm sorry, I'm not sure about that part, but still, they come close to you and they will start thinking, oh, I can do this and I can do that. You, because of this process, you will think that those ideas are yours. Believe me, you are the channel of those ideas, but you are being inspired into them. And how is that explainable? That is actually provable because why are you having an idea now that you didn't have half an hour ago? Because you're being inspired. Oh, but Danny, that's my inner process. Yes, that is your inner process. I'm not saying anything different from that because this spirit that is giving you ideas in the first person, as in I, is actually your higher self. In your higher self, kiddo, your higher self is like this limitless, limitless, sorry about my English, is this limitless being that can connect with any geographical point at all, with any person in the world at all, to bring you those ideas and those solutions. You connect to, okay, maybe you are in the United States and you can connect to someone else in Japan that have already faced this challenge and will start giving you ideas. And you want to know why that happens? Because your inner spirit, that is the actual you, has no flesh and blood limits. It doesn't need to be only in your geographical area if the solution can be brought by someone else in Japan. Your spirit will run right away to that person that has the solution for your specific problem, will touch that other person's spirit, and will say, hey, spirit, I'm having the same problem as you had before. Can you help me getting the solution that I need to face this challenge? And the other person's spirit will like, okay, the idea is you will do this and then you can do that. And after I did that to myself, I went through this, and when I went through this, I had the idea of doing something else. And those are spiritual conversations. So when you are being inspired, you are totally being inspired by what your spirit brought back for you from everywhere where in the world that it thought it would be the best for you. And believe me, when you get that inspiration and when you are relaxed and when you are at that not worried version, your spirit goes super strong because now you started understanding with yourself, hey, I maybe not know it all. Is there anyone that can help me? I don't know everything. I need some inspiration here. Can you help me? And then remember, open your heart. Okay, now I'm opened. And the best way to bring that inspiration for you, I will tell you the physical version of it so you can do that with your mind, because it is super hard to silence mind when you're in the beginning of the meditation process. And when you are in the beginning of this meditation process, you will understand that sometimes your mind won't stop blabbering, blah, 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 and it keeps speaking to your head, sometimes unstoppably, and you are like, oh my god, is there such a thing as silencing your mind? Well, yes, there is. When I will speak you of this difference, when you are with someone speaking to that person, okay, I want to tell you about a subject, I will be in a thankful process to be able to rationalize the idea into words that make sense, in a form so aligned that the idea will be well explained for someone else's logics to follow it through. But when it's your turn to listen, what is it that you do? So now someone else will explain to you something. So what you will do, you will stop the blabbering process in your mind and you go inside the state of attention. You will go to that state of, okay, I'm hearing, and this is it. This is precisely it. The idea of silencing your mind to get those inspirations is precisely about how you will change the key, turn the key from the rationalizing speaking process to the opened attention to hear someone else's logic. And this conversation process that happens normally here on earth for everyone is the exact same thing that will happen in the invisible side with spirituality. So, if you want to receive what your inner spirituality brought to you to help you grow on whatever you want to grow, because that is the program of your spirit, it will obey your wishes. So, if your spirit is trying to talk to you, it will talk. And if you're not with your attention opened to listen, you will miss such a huge tip that it would give to you to find the solution. Because what your spirit does is it puts your priorities as its priorities to find the solutions according to your priorities. But the thing is, do you have to state your priorities for your spirit? No. It's easy as wishing. So the thing that you're most wishing, it's his first priority. The thing that you are, I'm sorry, I'm saying spirit as in he, because spirit in Portuguese is a male word, okay? In Portuguese, genders, words have genders. So I speak his spirit because spirit is a male word in Portuguese. Anyway, going back to the subject. So when you wish for something, the more you wish, the more is your spirit duties about this. The less you wish, the less he needs to do something about this for you. And remember to put yourself in the state of listening. So when will it happen for you? If you're worrying, forget it. Your spirit won't even try. It's like, how is that expression that you guys have? It's an exercise in futility. It won't even try. It will see your mind completely agitated and and it won't just try to talk to you. So if you really need inspiration, and this is so tricky, believe me, because it's like this. If you're facing a huge situation that causes a lot of challenge for you, the best solution is to relax and enjoy. And believe me, this is super tricky because how are we gonna, how are we going to be facing such a huge challenge that can make our day change for better or for worse, and we're gonna relax on it, right? But believe me, in spirituality, everything is kind of tricky, but because what seems to be a solution that you were taught to deal with here on earth, sometimes there is the opposite. So when society taught you, oh, but you have this really huge problem, you have to think about it until you find the solution, and blah, 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 it will actually be in your way in the negative sense of it. And the tricky is, okay, so I have this huge trouble. Maybe I'm not the best person to find the solution for myself. So I will get some